Welcome back to the channel. Today we are spending an extensive amount of time with the 2026 Honda Civic, a car that has long served as the benchmark for the compact segment. When you look at the automotive landscape today, it is flooded with SUVs and crossovers, yet the Civic remains a pillar of the industry. For 2026, Honda hasn't just refreshed the model. They have fundamentally refined the experience to answer the biggest questions in the market. How do you balance the drive for electrification, the need for driver engagement, and the demand for premium refinement at an accessible price point? Over the next 30 minutes, we are going to tear this car apart, not literally, but figuratively, to see if it still holds the crown. Let's start with the exterior design, because that is where the 2026 model makes its first statement. Honda has moved away from the more aggressive, angular lines of the past and landed on what I would call a mature, athletic aesthetic. The front fascia is cleaner, the grille is more integrated, and those LED headlights have a sharper, more piercing signature that gives it a wider stance on the road. When you walk around the vehicle, you notice the beltline is lower, which isn't just a design choice. It drastically improves visibility, something that has been lost in many modern cars. The fastback-inspired roofline of the Sedan flows perfectly into a more sculpted rear end, where the taillights have been reconfigured for a wider look. It looks substantial, premium, and frankly, more expensive than it is. Moving inside, this is where the 2026 Civic really separates itself from its predecessors and competitors. The interior philosophy here is simplicity with purpose. You're met with a beautiful honeycomb mesh trim that stretches across the dashboard, seamlessly hiding the air vents. It's a design element that looks like high-end architecture. The materials are a significant step up. The touchpoints, the door panels, the center console, the steering wheel, all feel substantial. The seating position is low and sporty, yet you never feel like you're struggling to get in or out. And let's talk about that infotainment system. It is a massive, responsive touchscreen that supports wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard across the range. The interface is snappy, there is no lag, and crucially, they kept physical volume knobs and climate control dials. It's an ergonomic masterclass because it acknowledges that drivers still want tactile feedback while wanting modern tech. Now, we have to talk about what makes a Civic, the driving dynamics. For 2026, Honda has refined the chassis tuning to offer a ride quality that feels sophisticated. It's compliant enough to soak up the worst potholes in the city, but when you throw it into a corner, the body roll is impressively well controlled. The steering is electrically assisted, but has been tuned for a more natural linear feel. There's a weight to the wheel that builds confidence as you accelerate out of a turn. Under the hood, we are looking at a range of powertrain options that highlight Honda's commitment to efficiency without sacrificing power. The base engines are incredibly fuel efficient, offering great thermal efficiency that saves you money at the pump, while the higher-end engines offer a punchy, turbocharged experience that makes highway merging or overtaking on backroads genuinely fun. The CVT transmission has also been updated. If you're a purist, you know that CVTs have a bad reputation, but Honda has virtually eliminated the rubber band effect. It mimics gear shifts under heavy acceleration, so it feels more like a traditional automatic transmission, which makes the whole experience much more immersive for the driver. Performance isn't just about speed, it's about control, and the 2026 model comes packed with the latest iteration of the Honda Sensing Suite. This is standard on every trim, and it is a massive unique selling point. We are talking about adaptive cruise control that is smoother than ever lane, keeping assist that feels less like it's fighting you and more like it's guiding you, and traffic jam assist, which takes the stress out of those soul-crushing morning commutes. The radar and camera systems are so well integrated that they provide a 360-degree safety net without feeling intrusive. Let's shift to the back seat for a moment. Often, compact cars treat the rear cabin as an afterthought. Not here. The wheelbase is long and the engineers have maximized the interior volume. You can fit 2 adults comfortably, and even 3 in a pinch with ample legroom and headroom. The trunk space is equally impressive. It's deep, wide, and the rear seats fold down almost flat, making this a genuinely versatile vehicle for road trips or moving day. As we look at the unique selling points, we have to discuss the hybrid powertrain that is now more integrated into the lineup than ever. This isn't just a fuel-saver trim, it is a performance trim. The hybrid system provides instant torque, meaning that initial acceleration from a stoplight is electric car quick. It bridges the gap between traditional internal combustion engines and the future of electrification, providing a high-tech solution that doesn't require you to change your habits or worry about charging infrastructure. Throughout this drive, what really strikes me is the NVH, noise, vibration, and harshness control. Honda has added significant sound deadening material in the wheel wells, the floor, and the firewall. At highway speeds, the cabin is eerily quiet. You can have a conversation with your passengers without raising your voice. And the premium audio system doesn't have to compete with road noise. It's this attention to the little things, the sound of the door closing, the feel of the buttons, the silence of the cabin, that elevates the 2026 Civic into the near luxury territory. In summary, the 2026 Honda Civic is a masterclass in evolution. It doesn't try to be something it's not. It doesn't try to be a giant SUV, and it doesn't try to be a track-only race car. Instead, it leans into the strengths that made the Civic a legend: reliability, driving engagement, space, and clever engineering. It is a car that is perfectly happy doing the mundane grocery runs on Tuesday, navigating rush hour traffic on Wednesday, and hitting a winding mountain road on Sunday. It remains the gold standard because it is the most well-rounded vehicle in its class. Honda has taken a successful formula and polished it until it shines, proving that there is still plenty of life and excitement left in the compact sedan market. If you are in the market for a car that does everything exceptionally well without shouting about it, the 2026 Civic is not just a strong contender. It is the car you have to test drive before you make any decisions. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. Until next time, keep driving.